All right, next game. Speaking of early teams on the East Coast, Chargers at the Buccaneers. The line opened up Buccaneers -5. It's up to 7. So who do you like in this game?
Okay, I did not know that it had moved 2 full points, so that's that changes my opinion maybe a little bit. But I still do like the Bucs here even at -7. I'm just when watching the Bucs, I feel like we're really starting to see what we expected. Like, I know they just played Denver, a really badly beat up team, but they crushed them. And Tom Brady seems to be building some good chemistry between his receivers, especially Mike Evans. They were able to get the tight ends involved more in the passing game this past week, especially Gronk. So I think they're starting to come together more on offense. The Chargers, meanwhile, are starting Justin Herbert. He's a rookie who's looked good at times, but he's going to have some mistakes. We saw a crossbody throw against the Chiefs that ended up getting picked off. So I think that was a happen from him. And Tampa's just so good against the running backs. I think Herbert might have to do a lot in this game and that he could be forced into some mistakes. Chargers are also down a lot of quality defenders, including Chris Harris, Melvin Ingram, and Derwin James. So I think their defense is a little weaker than it's been in the past. I am concerned, though, that the Bucs are playing on Thursday night against the Bears. So they're going to have a little bit of a look-ahead factor here. That coupled with the line movement is going to drop my unit count on this. So I'm probably going to be on the Bucs maybe for a unit, maybe 2 if I get more confident. But I just think that they're the better team here, but I could see a world in which the Chargers cover this. But I also want to say this is somewhat of a revenge game for Tom Brady because I think the Chargers could have pursued him and instead decided to go to Tyrod Taylor. So maybe he uses that as motivation. I don't know.
I didn't even thought of that. That's interesting. I actually like the Chargers a lot here. One of the key factors is the Thursday night look ahead game. Usually if you bet a big favorite like this before a Thursday night game, usually you do quite well. And the Buccaneers, they play the Bears on Thursday night, and you're like, okay, you might say, oh, whatever, who cares about the Bears? But the Bears are 3-0 right now, and if they beat the Colts, and the Bucs won't know the result of that game while they're playing this one. Let's just say the Bears beat the Colts and they're 4-0, and the Buccaneers are 3-1. That's an important game because if the Bears beat the Bucs, they're going to be 2 games back, and the Bears are going to have the tiebreaker. So they'd have to automatically pass the Bears by a few games just to make sure they have the number 1 seed in the conference. Like it is an important game, and this is a non-conference game against a team they only see once every 4 years. And I think the Chargers match up well against Tom Brady because they have the formula, like the formula to beat these quarterbacks. And I heard it. When Patrick Mahomes was dominating the Ravens, like everyone's like, oh, how do you stop this? Like the formula is what the Niners did in the Super Bowl is you pressure with 4 consistently, and you have to get there obviously, and then you play the tight coverage underneath. And the Chargers can do that. They did that week 2 against Patrick Mahomes, and they almost won. So I think the Chargers could pressure Tom Brady pretty heavily, and Tom Brady might be missing Chris Godwin, who got hurt last week, and he has Mike Evans, who doesn't seem like he's 100%. His stat line, by the way, 2 catches, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns, which I thought was very interesting. It was almost like Jerome Bettis's 5 carries, 1 yard, 3 touchdowns that he had in 2004. But yeah, anyway, the Buccaneers are banged up at receiver, and I think that kind of washes out what you were saying about the Chargers having the injuries. So I just think the Chargers should keep this game close. And I think this line's a little inflated. I made it 5.5, and the advanced spread in this game was 4.5. So this line moved 2.5 points based on what happened last week. And I don't think that's warranted. So I like the Chargers quite a bit.
Yeah, no, you make really good points, and I'm definitely dropping my unit count on this one based off what you said, and I can see a way the Chargers might cover. So I might have to reconsider this one a little bit because I don't think I was taking into an account enough the receiver injuries for Tampa because I knew Chris Godwin probably wasn't going to play, but I kind of forgot like how banged up Mike Evans has been because he has really just been that short touchdown catching guy. But how's he going to catch those touchdowns if they can't get down there? So I'll definitely reconsider that, but for now, I'm going to stick with the Bucs just because I think their defense could create problems for Justin Herbert. But I agree that the line has moved too much. I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, I mean Herbert can have a meltdown for sure. Like he could have 3 pick sixes for all we know. But I do like Hunter Henry against the Tampa linebackers. Like Tampa has been bad against tight ends, and I think Hunter Henry should do pretty well.